Hey everybody, this is Neal Schaffer, and yes, you are in the right place. Today's webinar is going to be about from tool sprawl to AI-driven marketing workflows. We're going to talk a little bit about, well, what has changed with AI? What do AI agents bring to the picture? And really looking at your marketing technology tool stack. We'll talk specifically about social media marketing tools, but really, AI has changed a lot of things. The way that we work is starting to change. The way that we manage our marketing is starting to change with AI. But really, is our technology stack set up to do that? And are we sort of all over the place with all the different tools that we're using? I think is going to be another theme that we'll talk about today. Very briefly, just going to ask you all, I know that we still have some participants coming in the room, but Vugar and myself, and I will introduce him shortly, would love to know where you are tuning in from today. So if you wouldn't mind, don't be shy, just put in the chat, where you're logging in from today. Vugar, I think you are on a business trip in San Francisco?
I've actually moved to San Francisco, so it's not like
Oh,
business trip.
okay.
Yeah, I was shortly introduced, but yeah, I have moved here full time since January.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So,
lived here for 5 years, for my bachelor's, so
yeah,
I'm
of
back
course.
after 6 years.
Yes, that's right. Vugar is a proud Boston University alum for those Boston folks in the crowd. So we have Terry from Seattle, Monica from Tampa. Wow, South Africa. Natalie, thanks for joining us. New Jersey, Gavin Newsom, 960 SAT. Okay. Uh, well, we're going to steer clear of politics today. It's all going to be business. But yeah, and I am from my home office in Irvine, California. I know a lot of people from my list are here. Wow, two from South Africa. I know a lot of people from my list are here. Yorkshire, United Kingdom. I have actually been asked, I'm going to be in London in 2 weeks, and actually been asked to bring home some Yorkshire black tea. So Kevin, you're going to have to explain to me exactly what that is because I don't really know. Ernie from Sweden, love the international focus. Yes, I was in Japan for a few weeks back, going to be in London for a few weeks, but I am at my home office here in the beautiful Irvine, California, Orange County. All right. Well, I appreciate you all hitting the chat. While this presentation is going on, I want to encourage you, if you have comments, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't know if you see it. There is a dedicated Q&A section. The Q&A section, you might have to press on that more icon, or you might see it. I'm a host, so I can't see what you see. But feel free, any question, anytime, make sure you put it in there, and I will make sure that it gets answered either by Vugar or myself. So, all right. Well, we're already a few minutes past the top of the hour, so we're going to get started. A few housekeeping notes, because every time I do a webinar, I always get asked these questions, so I want to be very clear and upfront. Yes, the webinar is being recorded, and you will receive a link to the recording in the next 24 hours. I'm going to try to get that link out to you as soon as I possibly can. So no need to follow up. You will be getting an email from me, and yeah, you'll be able to follow. If you have to drop off, hopefully you don't, because the best parts usually come at the end when we get into the actual demos. And
And we
very,
have a
very
special
specific
offer.
and special offer, of course.
Yeah.
But I think that's really where the best content comes out are the questions, the demos, what have you. So I do hope you'll stick around. But hey, worst case scenario, you can't. It is being recorded. As I mentioned, feel free to ask questions in the Q&A tab. We want to make this more of a conversation rather than a one-sided announcement or broadcast. So, any questions you might have, and whether it is about Vugar's tool that he's going to introduce or any marketing technology or AI, let's make the best use of this time. I want to make sure you get very, very positive ROI from the hour that we spend together. We hope to have 10 to 15 minutes at the end to answer all your questions. If there's something urgent that you have that I see in the Q&A, I will be, asking Vugar to sort of pause. Hey, David, welcome from Baton Rouge. Just saw that pop up there. So yeah, at any time, feel free to ask, and I will find the right timing to make sure that those questions get answered. So today's presenters, well, Vugar Javadov, in San Francisco, very popular with the media, as you can see from the photo there. I will have Vugar introduce himself. I'll have him introduce himself when his presentation starts. I do want to say when Vugar reached out to me a little while ago, introduced me to his tool and the tremendous track record that it has and the really innovative features that it has. I thought that there was a great way we could collaborate together and I could introduce his technology to my community. So I'm really excited. And his company moves really, really fast. He promised he was going to show things to me that I didn't see even in the practice run a few days ago. So really excited to see what that is. And I am your host, Neal Schaffer. So the marketing tool stack in 2026, so much has changed around us since November of 2022 when ChatGPT came about. But is our marketing tool stack, other than using a large language model like a ChatGPT or what have you, what else has changed? Now, there has always been a lot of different MarTech solutions in the market, right? Recent article said there were more than 15,000. And since 2011, we've only seen a 100x growth. And believe me, with vibe coding, and I just know from my network of other social media and marketing consultants that have created their own vibe coded apps, I think we're going to see even more solutions on the market. But the problem is that the average marketing team, this comes from Gartner as well as some other data, uses 20 to 29 different tools. How many tools do you use? Right? Look at your credit card statement at the end of the month and you could do a count. But I think we're all sort of drowning in tools. And if there's any AppSumo users out there, right? I know that you have tons of tools. So the problem is we don't use all these, right? Marketers utilize only 49% of their stack's capabilities. So they might be using the tool per se, they may not be, but even if they're using the tool, they're not using all the capabilities that the tool has, right? And that 49% is down from 58% right before COVID in 2020. And the problem, though, is that it's expensive. MarTech accounts for 22% of total marketing spend. So if you think about it, there's money being spent on people, on content, on paid ads, and technology. Maybe 25% a piece. I don't know the exact numbers, but it is very, very significant. So, part of what we're going to talk about today is some really, really cool functionality. But part of what we're going to talk about today is also the efficiency of getting more information within one application, within one window. And I think every time we're switching between tools, it's taking that much of our time and an efficiency hit. And we also aren't able to take advantage of that information that could be spread within one tool, unless we go the integration route, and that gets a little bit messy and expensive as well. So the net here is we keep buying more tools, we keep using less of them. I believe that something has to change. And I believe that AI gives us an opportunity to do a little reset, right? I think a lot of companies have pivoted, and a lot of us as professionals have also pivoted with the emergence of AI. And I think we all should be pivoting. We should always be pivoting, right? But today, I really want you to keep an open mind as to how we can pivot with the technology we use to help us manage our marketing. And then we have agentic AI. So agentic AI is here, yet I think it's still being developed. Back last year, I think, 2025 year is going to be the year of agentic AI, and it is coming. I don't think it's to the point that we imagine it will be at, but there are smart and savvy companies like Obsera that are really putting a lot of investment into making this a reality. So for those of you that don't know, I'm sure most of you do, but AI agents are AI features that help you do tasks faster. ChatGPT, if you spend $200 in the pro plan, not the pro plan, but the advanced plan, whatever it's called, you'll get access to their operator, which is their AI agentic model. Claude recently introduced one that I know some of my network have already started to use, but these are AI agents being put together by large language models, right? But the idea is that AI agents do the tasks for you with your oversight and approval. So what you're going to see today is nothing is automatic. You're still in full control, right? But instead of you having to dig and look for something and then craft an email, it's already there waiting for you in the morning is really the image I want you to take away. And Vugar is going to give you more information about that. So imagine, and I think by the end of this hour together, you'll be able to better imagine this. Starting your day, you log into your computer, you got your cup of coffee, and the AI agent has already monitored your mentions, flagged a spike for whatever number of mentions over a certain number, over a certain threshold that we should receive a spike notification, drafted inbox responses for your review, summarized overnight campaign performance, detected a competitor landing page change. Now, these are all things that we were using either different tools or within each tool, we were digging, looking at our notifications, right? Trying to find all this information, but now we can actually have it all in one place. And I think this is still really early times with the development of agentic AI. So the question isn't, how do I connect all my tools better? Do I use Zapier? Do I use make.com? I've actually become a big fan of Integrately, but that's not the point here. Do we still need to have all of these tools is really a question I want you to ask as we go through today's presentation. So, Vugar, I am now going to hand the screen over to you for your introduction, your point of view on the market, the technology, and yes, can't wait to see the latest iteration of your tool.
Yep, thank you. So to start, it won't be just about the tools that we offer, but we'll more frame it around like what's going on within the industry and like what are AI agents, like what are the open source solutions. So this presentation isn't just about like offerings of Obsera, but like what is the current frameworks that are used and how our solution can also be deployed, but what you can use like without leveraging any of our existing tools, just what is there out like from the open source. So we'll have a brief presentation just to see eagle eyes view, like how we imagine, how we see the future of it and how it's currently going. And we'll also share on our end how we can like work together. Because as I said, like I have moved to San Francisco just end of January, like after 6 years. So we are looking to expand full time to the US. Like normally as I said, like I'm from Azerbaijan, and in Azerbaijan, we are actually pretty popular. We work with British Petroleum. We have like for marketing tools, especially for social listening, we have maybe like 50-60% of the market, and we are growing fast. And we have worked with US companies also, enterprises like that have deployed up to 200 million in loans. So we have enterprise experience both locally in Azerbaijan and internationally. And we have like around 20 employees in Azerbaijan. Like we have this full stack enterprise customers. We have experience working with them from SMBs to enterprises. And currently we are trying to expand into the US. And this conversation today will be more about like how we see AI agents and what we believe is the future. And what are the existing tools, be it open source, be it OpenClaw. I'm not sure like how many people have heard of it here and how it's going to be framed. So today, as Neal mentioned, you could see that there are already a lot of tools that are used and you have to switch between them. And even with the developments that we currently have, at most it has reached like Copilot level where you have chats, let's say with GPT, you have with Cloud, you have with, I don't know, with Gemini, and then you have to copy paste, be it your marketing strategy, be it your copies. And these systems are not integrated together in any manner. It's definitely better. Like before, even for social listening, it was at most like you had to give the keywords and then it would go and find them. And if it found, let's say, some threshold, as Neal mentioned, like if it passed 10 negatives, you would get a notification or however. Then we reached next point where, oh, for sentiments, you could have done it like on a mass scale where you can give it to your Copilot, where you can use its API or its user interface. But it still consists of you ultimately are the bottleneck here, also in a sense like you have to take the action. And now the third that we are reaching is like you could have the freedom to the system to take action itself, but you can also preview it, so like approve it. So the points that we are currently reaching is like, can we have this end-to-end workflows where you simply approve and make changes as you wish? So this would be on a high-level AI agents. And if you look, Anthropic just released a report, like, and it was like in marketing, it's used only 4.4%. So AI agents are not currently leveraged almost in any industry whatsoever. Actually, it's most like leveraged in for coding. That's what they wouldn't expect, like by default, like they were building to automate all of this stuff, but it ended up automating most for the coding, and you can see it in the job market. Like it's really it's an interesting case, like how the coding itself, a significant part of it have been automated and it have been developed by people who code. Like, and for all other industries that you have, statistically, when you look at it, it is well below 10%. As I said, marketing is one of the like where it's leveraged as in copywriting to the most, and the AI agents are still like 4.4%. So this agent essentially the main difference that it brings is there is action. As you can see on the right, we show some of the tools, but these are like how we are leveraging it within our own stack. But on a high level, the main difference is even with Copilots, you had the brain. You could give it to like your writing style. It could do the research, like you could have the thinking mode on. For guardrails and the memory, like it could have been built in, but you'd never had this flow. It was like all tools are all over the place. You had to copy paste stuff. Each time you had to actually teach again. Like, this is my writing style. This is what I wish. It would feel like frustrating in a sense, like you spent so much time to establish like the memory, the guardrails, and sometimes you have to repeat it all from the scratch. So the thing that is new with this agent is this one, you have action. Two, it's like self-iterating loop. You can establish it as like takes these actions, post on Twitter, post on LinkedIn, wherever, and like after this, learn from the performance. Like what were the benchmark, what were the likes, what were the comments, did it reach any impressions? So the main difference, I would say, from this copilots is now we are at a point where we can ask the system to take actions. And it's up to us to like essentially it's intelligence. Based on this intelligence, you take action, and based on this action, you have this feedback loop. Again, input comes like what you would like to have. Then you have on top of it the intelligence layer, and on top of it, there is actions, and then it feeds back again to after it learns based on the system. So the way we have imagined it is like these are some of the areas we have actually leveraged. And on a high level, it would be like understanding your competitors, their social media, what's written, then understanding it's like from their websites, from what's going on within their own channels. And then like one of the greatest problems is engagement. Like you get the leads, you get everything, customer doesn't get a reply, or they get a reply but the quality is low, like the customer service is really bad. Or on a high level you can't get understanding of performance because like there's so many dashboards, like dashboards everywhere. Like human brain is not meant for that. We are not meant to process 20 different dashboards. It might feel good, but like it doesn't really have the substance behind it, in a sense like you get lost within the data. And finally, it's like structured execution. Like once you have all of these layers together, you can have a much more holistic view because like all of them serve the same purpose. Even as an enterprise, even if you have like this different functions, different people looking at different tools, ultimately they should and must all combine to give you a general picture so that like you can maximize the company's objectives. So they are supposed to fit in together, which is not really the case today. Either as an SMB, you are SME, like you are using all these disparate tools and trying to make sense, or as an enterprise, you have like different people leveraging these tools, but you don't have a unified outlook. So this is why we believe structured execution is a must, where you should like collect all of these learnings together. And if it would go to details, like for listening and intelligence, it's essentially like getting all the mentions from X, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or the news, like wherever it's mentioned. And we have built this infrastructure for scraping like over the last 4 years. So essentially, we can get all the information and we have the necessary approvals from the social medias. And agents are deployed here in a sense before you had to wait. At most, as Neal mentioned, like at the start, you would get a notification in the morning, oh, there were like 10 negative mentions about you, but still up to you to take actions. Now, what we have built is actually you can get automatic replies. You can set thresholds where, like, if it's negative about me and if it's about the nature of the product, automatically reply. But if it's like comparing us and let's say competitor, make up a review, but let it be for approval. I will just show the system also from now on, but on a high level, agents here, it comes in a way like now you can also instruct it to take action on your end. And then it's more about, it's not just you, but how you see the competitors, how their like ads performing, what ads there in, be it in on Facebook, be it in TikTok. We have actually, as I said, API accesses to all of this, so it's all official. Because like as you know, there are attempts to go around like the, it's risky from social medias in the sense like so your accounts can get banned, and we don't want to really bring spam. It's not about like how to spam, let's say, thousands of copies or etc. It's more like how can we orchestrate all of these flows in an ethical manner within the like frameworks that we have agreed upon, be it with social medias, like legally. So this part is more about tracking your competitors, their web page, and it's whatever you would like. And then based on that to take next action, be it like messaging, be it like your next campaign. It might be an ad campaign based on their price change, but essentially this is all about intelligence because I believe like without having the proper intelligence, you can't take essentially proper actions. And then the third comes, which is like, okay, I have this intelligence. People are reaching actually out to me, but what actions can we take? And here our omni-channel solution, which can be integrated for social media, for your web, for your app, comes in. Like it gives you capacity to build up a knowledge base either through a single link or a document or manually, however you see fit. And it works like essentially across all of your channels. And lastly, it's how do we bring all of this together? As I say, this like disparate parts where you have a social listening, you are tracking your competitor's website, you have this leads and replies, but how do they all fit in together? How can you orchestrate it from one center? How can you, let's say, start ads? Like you see there are negative mentions about you, but you would like to immediately start ads. In those cases, you might have these workflows, but how would you orchestrate this? This is where like our command HQ comes in. So on a high level, this would be some of the examples, like where you have PR spike, something negative is mentioned, you get immediately back to them based on the threshold or AI agent. Or the like updates on their landing page, there are counter messages for you to protect the brand, to show you like your offering, to be competitive, or for the campaigns you have the ads on Meta, on Google, and then you would like to automatically like have the winners, and you can obviously for free, and it's not about Obsera, like for free, you can actually do ads also. I will actually show you like in a minute how you can do like jewelry ads, like ads for anything. And it's pretty decent just by prompts. And like you can get back immediately, like you can automate all of these flows. And one of the issues that we have seen with enterprises, like there are hallucinations in AI, like there's privacy, what happens with user data, what happens with your own data, what's about brand safety, like is it about your voice, can I see the logs? Like we actually, as I said, it's not newly established, we have been around for the last 4 years. We have like just for social listening 50-60% of Azerbaijani market. Well, like we have extensive experience working with enterprises, and all of these issues have already been taken into account within our system. And just to give you a general idea what I have seen, and I wish to redefine it, it's not just about our products. That's why I'm showing today like open source solutions. Like I believe the industry is ripe for disruption, and be it on how enterprise operate. Like normally it is like seat space. Why? Because like that's how enterprise operate and how that's you can maximize your value. Or it's not just about the value that they bring, but it's like 50 different, it's clanky UI, it has 50 different buttons. You have to like even you have no idea what it does, like you just have those 3, 5 stuffs that you use constantly, you get still this sold, like because like you can't simply access it without like upselling part. And I wish to redefine it from the zero, like from first principles to be value based, like what is the value that we bring to you rather than like how can we leverage existing enterprise structure to cash out the most. Like we have spent tens of thousands in Azerbaijan to establish communities. I'm planning to do the same in SF and the US. Like we are really passionate about, because like I believe there is disruption going on, and it's not a given that like its direction. I believe we should like direct it in the right way. That's why we are building currently the Obsera. And this would be it for the presentation part. Essentially, the bottom line comes to intelligence. Based on this intelligence, you take actions, and then you have this infinite loop which feeds back the results of this action, and then you have new intelligence, and it goes on forever. This would be a high level. And now I will be going down to the details that we have provided. But if there are any questions so far, as I said, like the next part will be much more interactive, where I would ask for your all inputs. But this is like what we are offering on a high level. Any
Yes.
questions, Neil, or I can continue?
Yeah, thank you, Vugar. I want to point out that there were some mentions of module names, or when you talk about AI agents, there were some tool names. Those are all modules within the Obsera software stack that Vugar is about to show you. The only question we got is, will the slide deck be available for distribution?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah,
I say like I'm trying to like reach common points. Like
yeah.
we are really trying to work with people. Like I'm sincere about it. We are really trying to establish this infrastructure. Or like we have spent tens of thousands where we had zero returns. Like I brought people from New York University, Columbia University to Azerbaijan just to build the community, and we're doing the same here. Like of course we will share the slides.
Well, there you
That's,
go, everybody. So, yep, right now that's the only question. I think people are just hanging around, anticipating the look at your software.
yeah. So if we would go, this would be the Opsera as you log in. This is the first thing that you see, and it will obviously have like the walkthrough for the first time users. And you can use it for, like, as I said, you can see on the left that there are different tools, media, omnichannel, for you to manage ads, for you like change detector. But this would be your center. And we really try to abstract out and give you a command center where you can orchestrate some workflows. Like, let's say about like one of the Bitcoin, or it can be whatever. You like you are the one, and as you write it, it goes in real time to like scrape the web, and it scrapes the web. It takes into account your brand voice. We did it. That wasn't actually that's one of the changes that we had like with Eurasum we talked about, and we integrated like taking into account what people are actually talking. And like what is your brand's voice, integrating it, and that's done either through omnichannel when you can connect your channels, or we can just take it from whatever sources you provide us. As you can see, like here, it did like on Bitcoin and brought from these different like sources the latest news and try drift slower. Like you can obviously enter these links and check it out yourself. But essentially, based on this, it has like different data analyst, skeptic, and as I said, you can change it however you wish according to your own voice. These are the defaults that are provided by us. And like you can read this, you can see, and you can obviously select a draft. So we have also built in, you can just publish the text or you can generate the image. And these credits that are related to this and etc., this all comes already like within the solutions that we provide to you. So you can have, and it comes with like doomsday scenarios, and it took this is the skeptic part, like this is how it was selected. And here you can just share it immediately. This is so we had the scraping part here. We have the omnichannel integrated, and it's just up to you, like to have all of these captions to share them wherever you would like to. And you can see like the text is here. It is all, and you can change it also as you wish. You can select like the different, as you can see, because it's like mere admin account. We have like this plenty of these accounts, but essentially you connect your own channels and it already comes in. You can schedule it, you can draft it, and it's based on the scrapings that happened, and you can just simply post and it is done. Like
Hey,
just one
Vugar,
click.
as
Yep.
you go through this, and we saw those social media accounts, we did have a question. Does this work for agencies when we have 30 plus accounts with 5 different social platforms for each? So
Yeah.
how would this dashboard handle that?
Yep. As I said, like if you would like to go into details, when I pressed on the share, you could see like it had all the social medias that you had here. So we have the experience working with enterprises. We have like given the solution also. So with agencies, it's the same. Like you can connect your 20 different accounts, and it can be the same ones in Facebook, on Instagram, on X, on TikTok, and we are adding like the platforms. Like, and as you can see, you would have to refresh. This is the tech demo account. And so you can see that it got shared here. And as I said, like you can connect as many accounts as you wish to, and you can group them also. Like you can have different folders, you can group them together, like you would see the differences. And as you can see, it was posted on the Facebook, like immediately after we pressed on it. And so this would be one functionality where essentially we scrape the web and I wrote Bitcoin, but it could be what marketing, whatever. Like it goes, immediately scrapes all of the web and gives you like the samples. You can, and this is in your voice, and you can play around with it. And you might have given me like anything other than like Bitcoin, etc. And it would have still done it. And you just clicking on share is done. Or I don't like the second solution we had is mm, this is again like related to omnichannel. And here it is like you would like some reports on leads because like you get some message, you some of them are closed, some of them are not closed, like people get back to them or not. It goes in real time, like to analyze what have been written so far and what's getting written, and it gets back to you based on that. And all of the reports are actually stored here. You can have like immediate access to them. So you can write in real time, like give me a report, and it will give like how many total conversation across all the channels. Or you can limit it. You can be like, what was the situation on Facebook? What was on X? Like it's up to you, the granularity level. This is just one sample, and it all gets stored here where you can see like what's AI resolution rate, what's average response time, what's new leads, like which channels you got it from. You don't have to move anywhere other than like our existing interface just to see all of this. And the last part, and as I said, it has like much more, but I wouldn't like to have like we have an hour, like I know that we have the limit. So as I said, like my calendar is available. You can book like meetings with me. I'm willing to go into all the details. And this one here you can provide, it's more about building the chatbot where you can provide a knowledge base, where you can provide a document, a link, or you can do it manually. But it can, the bottom line is that unless necessary, we would like to abstract out these concepts. And the way to abstract them out is to have like, what are people getting used to? This chat interface where you can be like, just do this for me. Like, I don't want to go into all the details, but if you would like to, as I said, I will be slowly showing all these different parts that we have here. Like, you can easily go into the details regarding every single like applications that we have. And these are the tabs that are meant for it. But essentially, the current way it works is we are trying to give all possible solutions. And you can see, like, in real time, it went to Access. And Access Bank is like European bank, one of the biggest ones in Azerbaijan. It's one of our clients. That's why I'm showing like this example. But it would work with any website that you provide, really. Like the website part is relevant. And it already went and like creates a bot. And here you see this is all from what it scraped like immediately. Like, and you can test it here. Like it brings all the tags. Uh, what are the mortgage options that you have? And you can like run tests and get like various discounts. And other than it's just Azerbaijan's national currency. As I said, it can be in the US. It brings all of it, and you can actually assign it immediately to any channels from here that you would like to. Like these are the samples that we had, and we had this bots like we had as a sample assigned here. So you can do two things. Uh, because like that is the bot that we had like assigned the Access Bank one. What are your loan options? Or you can just write a message like, what are the different, I mean, options? No, what, like ATMs and where I can get like, what? I can. I haven't written can, but it's not actually, it doesn't have to be grammatically correct. It will still understand. Uh, you can just send it. And here, this is our website. So uh, from Omnichannel, you can actually have this access and you can see like, can you share more info on maintenance and where I cash out? And you can like have this immediate answer. It's based on their web. You can obviously play around with this, and you can also look at the comments separately, like for all of them. And you just have to go here, select the comment sections, and you can see like all of this is here. And you can just press on a single link, and you can see like we already had the answer automatically given by the bot, like based on the knowledge base that we provided. And the same would be the case for the direct message that we had. Like, so it all works like flawlessly, and it's integrated across your social medias. And at no point we had to go beyond the chat. Like it was just build it for me. And it was done. And omni-channel, as we started with it, it permits you to manage your inboxes. Like you can see what people have written, where you have used. Like it has all the generic features that you normally find with the softwares, like actions. You can have tags for it. You have different folders for it. It is for the web. It's for your app, and you can easily add new channels, create manually your own. Like all the default major functionalities that it's come with. And as I said, we have already deployed it with enterprises. So it's not like as if we are testing it out currently. This is a system that works in production, and we are currently just expanding into the US market. And here you can obviously like play around with your posts. You can add your channels across all of this, and you can like create new posts. It's just new posts. You can use AI for the post generation. You can schedule them for the future. So essentially, it's two parts. We have abstracted out the most through our command HQ. But what if you wish to have the granular like approach where you want to either approve or you don't want to use AI at all? You just want the tool. Because I believe like even for the tools before, because it was not possible, like you had the separate tools for everything. But with the current development speed, you could simply have it all in one place and it would work seamlessly. So even if you want to like manage them like with your TikTok, with your like Facebook, you can just come here. And the same for your inbox. Like you don't have to use AI. We are not pushing like that you have just to use AI. But I'm saying there's a lot of opportunity. Obviously, there are gaps. It can be leveraged, and I think it's going step by step closer. Even if AI doesn't like develop in any manner on from now on, like there's so many areas where it can be actually leveraged. And the second part, now we are just
Hey,
going
hey,
to
Vugar,
detail.
before I know we still have a ways to go with the demo, but we did have some
Yeah,
more questions come in. I wanted to follow up on that question about agencies. So, as with any other marketing software, there is a business aspect and a technology aspect, right? The
yeah.
business aspect as far as the technology aspect. So, I think Vugar already responded, but I also want to say he will be following up with all of you, and he mentioned that his calendar is open for you all. So, I encourage you to follow up if you did not get the depth of answer you're hoping to get on this demo. We had another question, Vugar, as a fractional CMO. Welcome from a fellow
Yeah.
fractional CMO. This is likely something that I would recommend for the client to purchase. Is there a process available for training implementers?
Yeah. Actually, like from our own experience, we have seen just giving access to all the infrastructure can be overwhelming. Like we have done our best to have this UI intuitive and like not to have like step by step, like I don't like you have seen some tools which have like 50 features and you are shocked, like option shocked. We have done our best like not to have that and to separate like cleanly, but we don't just give access to anyone to the system. Like we actually walk through everyone. And if you go to obsera.com, you can actually, and it goes directly to my calendar. Like you can book times here, and Saturday is also an option. We might make even Sunday option. I will share my email and stuff. I will be reaching out to everyone here at the end. Like as I said, we are locked in. I believe there is a lot of opportunity to bring actual value. And we are going to open source. That's one of the things that we are doing. And I'm going to share like shortly open source solutions also. It's not just about like what we have. I believe it's a community thing. That's why I actually came here like myself to the US because I believe it's a prime time to establish one. And as I said, if you want to reach out, just go to obsera.com, request a demo, and it will directly go to my calendar. And now it's like US based time, Pacific time here. But as I said, I'm open. Like these are defaults. If you can't make it, just reach out to me and I will be writing to every single person. And like we'll work out. We always try to reach a common point. Like we can work out definitely the details, the timing, everything. Uh,
Hey, Vugar,
as I said, because we have a team even in Azerbaijan, it can be like 24-hour. Wherever you are, we will work out.
thank you. We still have a few more questions I want to get through before we proceed forward. I saw you were
Sure.
able to create an image from text. You did that when you were showing that Bitcoin
Yeah.
tweet. I was wondering if you have design guidelines, would you be able to create an image that looks more like your brand? So it could be through prompt or
Yeah,
download a
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
document.
we have taken that. I will actually show the open source solutions and how we are integrating those into our structure and have integrated. But yes, like these credits and stuff, I don't want to bother like people with all of this. So our packages come default with the credits. Like you don't have to set it up yourself. You can simply use them. You don't have to go those details. And we have set up the brand voice like in the background, but you can set it up yourself. And whatever are your brand guidelines, it will get adjusted to it. And I will share it shortly also. Like
Got you. So whether
that's
it's
taken
text
into
or
account.
visual, both of them, basically, with the brand
Yeah,
guidelines.
this is actually I will show shortly, but even in open source, like put us aside, you don't necessarily have to work with us. Like there are markdown files just to be a bit technical where you can give like your brand voice, your whatever you would like to it to take as a context, and it worked pretty well. Like you can just give it, and you can do it even with open source. Like I'm not, yeah, like as I said, that's an option. I will shortly show like all of it also.
All right, two
Is
more
this
questions. Two more questions, Vugar. My apologies. Yeah, this is
yeah,
great. This is what makes the presentation. So, and I know your software does everything or a lot of
no,
things. I'm not sure it does everything, right? So, the question
that's the
is,
plan actually. Yeah,
well,
we
the
are
question is, and
commodifying.
this is very, very specialized. Can you do outreach automation like LinkedIn connections or outbound engagement through this as well, or just responses? So it's
Yes, you
reactive. Can
can.
you also be proactive in
Yeah, you
terms of
can.
engagement?
That's what I mentioned, and that's like open source and how we are integrating to into. There's open cloud that has been like all the hype recently in like AI and in San Francisco. I'm not sure like in other circles, but we are integrating like yes, that is an option that you can do with our tool. You can do the
Okay.
outreach, but as a like I would like to mention, I don't foresee it as a means to become means to spam. Like, like you have the thousands accounts, you just like we have to talk with people one by one. But on a high level, I want to make it perfectly clear that you can reach out to like people through our platform, but we'll never make it so that you can reach out in a day to 10,000 people. Like that's not what we are aiming for. That's not, I don't believe that's ethical. Like as we are trying to build this community and I'm not trying to have these small wins that are destroying the environment for everyone. Where like you spam people on LinkedIn, how like with this cold message where it researches them and just can give, and you do it like one or two is okay. Like that's within the human capacities. But if I reach out to 10,000 people and if all of us do it, like imagine with cold emails, like there was the generic database that now everyone has access to, and it destroyed the game for everyone. Like once, like it's not ethical and it's not the right way. And in the long term, it doesn't have any return on investment for you also. It's just leveraging the trust of people and like spending your social capital while being anonymous, essentially. Like, but that's still abuse of the system. So we will have outreach and we have outreach stuff. It's not about just inbound, but a huge detail that I would like to make perfectly clear that it will never become a means to spam people, like not outreach to tens of thousands of people through one single account. Like
Yeah.
that's not what we aim for, and it will never become that unless the rules of the game are changed and it's something general that we agree upon. But now, unwritten social contracts that we have is essentially one account is not meant for 10,000 messages a day. That's not realistic. Like you might play around with words and say it's legal and stuff, but that is outside of the current social contracts that we have. And I'm conscious of this. And I don't want to abuse it for short. As I said, we're in this for long term. I'm not looking to cash out. I'm not looking to like do stuff for the next 1, 2 months and get out. We have been around for like a long time and we will be around forever. Like we are not stepping back and we are not trying to have like these small wins where we abuse the social contract and the trust. But yes, there is. I
Yes.
my I
and,
try to
and
make detail like cover all the points, but yeah,
and
essentially, yeah, there is outbound,
yeah,
but within the limit.
and I think people in my community are very aware, and they're using it very responsibly. They're enterprise sales tools that use it very intelligently and selectively, and I assume that was the intent. But once again, as you could hear from Vugar, Obsera is really obsessed. Play on words there with integrating all these open source modules to allow even more functionality through a unified dashboard. So that's something you'll have to follow up with Vugar on. We had one more question. Do you build customized AI agents for small marketing agencies, or is Obsera a one tool fits all?
No, it's not like as I said, the AI part even makes it like not one tool fits all because like you can still change parts, you can change voice, etc. But we adjust to the needs. As I said, we have like with enterprises, with small businesses, we have worked with all of them, and like our development cycle is like really fast. So we adjust to your needs. We can change the platform. We have actually changed the platform per the needs of the users. And what I'm actually planning, like this is the future, but I actually wish like within I wouldn't give a definite timeline, but it's more like months and stuff. If like there are a lot of ifs because I don't want to go into those details, but essentially what I imagine this is you enter, you have the chat, and you can be like, oh, in social listening, in analysis part, I don't want these charts. Give me the other ones. Like you don't even have to reach out to me. You know how there are tools like for building the codes, website, etc. That's what we are evolving to currently, but that will take time. In the meantime, we do on an individual basis, like speak with the customers, adjust to their needs, change the platform. If there is a need, deploy a new one because like we can't change like all the functionalities for everyone. So we do it like on an individual basis. But yes, we solve this problem, and I actually wish to go spend like a step beyond where you can just write what you would like to change, and it's possible currently. It's just it needs like fine tuning here and there. Like that's why we are not deploying that yet. But essentially, the way I imagined, you just enter the chat, write what you would like the software to do, and it has all these tools that we have, like social listening, omnichannel, etc. It mixes to have a custom stuff for you. Like that is where it's currently going. And this is like our social listening tool that we had is you provide the project description, which is used to find like one of the greatest problems with social listening that we currently had. One, it's not proactive. It won't write to people and stuff. Like if it says negative stuff, at most it will give you a report. Two, it was more like keyword based. But I believe it was ripe for disruption. We disrupted in Azerbaijan, like even for Azerbaijan language, like the English is much more open. Like if you can do it in Azerbaijan, you can definitely do it in English, where you just provide the description. Apple is another company that provides, no, no. So let's say electronic devices, and you can go on and on with your descriptions. The more detailed it is, the better system will work, or the more it will work as you intended. And after you provide this description, like it goes and generates some, because we didn't give very much of a description, here are like the generic keywords that it gave to us, and you can give like project name, and it will actually go and in real time, like it's doing it currently, and takes around 30 seconds. It's starting to like get information from all the web using all the APIs. As I said, we have these engagements with social media, like we are partners with Meta, with TikTok. We have like permissions from X. Like we have built all this infrastructure, and we have this web scraping built. We have been into it like for the last 4 years. So as we are looking right now, it's going in real time and scraping the web. And as you can see, it scrapes the results, and you can see total mentions, you can see interactions, reach, and it brings especially this relevant and irrelevant parts. Irrelevant is actually where you had the keyword, and you can obviously, like, I don't want to go into details of every single tool too much because I know we are time constrained, but You can see like relevant, irrelevant results, and it's about keyword. Even if there is keyword, it's not related, it brings as irrelevant. And you can see like also overview for it, like sentiment distribution, what are the sources for it, like Morningstar, Fortune Business, what is the sentiment, because it just scraped, like it doesn't have stuff for the previous dates, much of it, but it's working continuously because like it wrote 30 seconds ago. And you can go into details like in analysis, what are the sources, what are the mentions, what's the sentiment, and like you can see all of it. And it also shows when you have the new mentions, when you like the AI part of it, the greatest is now you can just provide a description and will take into account. It is not like just these are the keywords. This is your fault if it's not related. We just give it to you. Like we actually go first and compare whether it's relevant, whether it's actually apple or is it like a fruit. Like we do it for you. And you can see all the mentions. You can set up all the notifications. As I said, like you can reach out to me after it. But on a high level, if you don't want to go through like Command HQ, you can enter this and use it like as a tool for social listening, where we scrape all of the web, where we have this notification system built in, where we have the user management. Like all of this is already integrated and used on an enterprise level and small businesses level. And omni-channel, I just showed before to you, this ads analysis is more like, as I said, we have access to Facebook ads library and we are currently getting from TikTok. You can, for different brands, look up like what are the accounts, what are the creatives that they had, and then you can go like to see the change on different websites. This was a change detector, and you can see like you can give different tags, and based on those tags, see the results and actually compare and see like what has changed, and you can actually specify what you would like to change. As I said, like I know it's overwhelming, like it's just an hour and I'm trying to show all the stack. So I might not go into details, but my calendar is open. Like you can just book here, you can just overlay. And if you don't want to bother like with finding out what has actually changed, it will just show like what has changed on the website. And you can just give specifics. Like if in this web page pricing changed, let me know. You can, and we are increasing fast, and you obviously can also manage your ads account. And I know like Facebook is adding AI to also, but I believe on a fundamental level what all of them will have problem with is eagle eyes view. Like you can have AI on Meta, but it won't have any idea about your Google ads, it won't have any idea about your TikTok. And like we are bringing all of this into one place where you can actually manage your ad sets, and you can here like give the names, reach, budget, and create ad sets for different age. So essentially, as you would like see, we give like end to end all the marketing solutions, and we are actually iterating fast. As you know, like this brand stuff, we didn't have it like last time we talked on Thursday or Friday. Like we added it already. Neither we had these reports. Like I would say we are keeping up with AI development, and it's on a daily or a weekly basis, and it is actually working. That's my bottom line. It's like these workflows that you have, it's not about fancy demos. Like we are actually leveraging this for enterprise customers, banks that manage like hundreds of millions, billions. And this is actually working without like issues, because like as I said, we don't just give the platform. Like we have made sure that we protect the quality. That's why like you have to request a demo for us, arrange a meeting. But on a high level, the way I imagine it is we have to build a community. I believe it's ripe time to have all the solutions, to have an eagle eyes view. And Obsera is the tool that will do it, and that is already doing it. And we are open to all the change. We are constantly changing, like adjusting to new needs. And as I said, ultimately how I imagine it is just you type whatever software you would like to have, but more on marketing context, with all these tools just working in the background for you. So you could change the UI, you can change, and you could even deploy it yourself and sell it yourself. Like I want to move out of it and just be like give you these building tools. We really wish to redefine how we bring value, and we wish for it to be not leveraging your existing structures. We really want to build the community. So it's more about how do we bring value to you, and only then like to see how we can collaborate. And now I'm actually switching to show the open source solution. So if there are any questions so far, we can go first, or like I
Yeah,
can.
we're good to go. We are in the last 5 minutes, so
Yeah.
I say go for it.
Yep. So there are different open source tools that you can like run. And one of them, actually, we had a question regarding outbound. So I would like to show it first. And this is like we are OpenClaw. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not sure people have heard of it or not, but it essentially you can like it's open source, it's on GitHub. You can just download it. We did the same, and you give access to it to all of your system. To like it can download files. It has access to file system, like everything. It can write. It can log in, etc. And here we give it access to our system, and we asked it to connect with our X, and once every 5 6 hours, just to write a post on Bitcoin, like do a research if there is anything. As I said, we are really careful not to be spammy. So it's like once in a while, once 5 6 hours, just a single post, which is within realistic human limits. We are not like spamming as bots, like all the system. So the way it worked, actually, this is actual like we had profile for this. You could see like it goes and researches, and now we have set it to like 2 hours. Before we used it more, like it goes and based on the latest news, shares different stuff about like Bitcoin, and we don't touch it. Like you just hear. Let's see whether it's alive. All is well, and you can actually speak with it. Like we have, it has its own server. We have given access to everything, and it's typing. It's actually feels so weird. Like it's not human, but it's like a marketing update fires. No, 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 nothing broke. Just waiting on the first run. Yeah, you see, like you can speak with it and you can give like it different. I actually gave it a bow to like share stuff. I think we have like not much time, but essentially I gave it like crypto marketing updates every 5 hours. Essentially, you can just write whatever you would like to, and it can write a program for you. You can just be like, oh, every 5 hours, go to my email, summarize everything, and in this circumstances, just get back yourself, or don't get back, but send it here for me for my approval, and I will simply like write, okay, this is not our platform. This is within our platform. This is within our solutions, and we do integrate it. But you don't know me. Yeah, like you don't need me. You can just use like OpenClaw and you will have all of this. Setting it up can be a bit clunky, so I'm not sure whether you would like to do it, but this is a solution that we currently have. And this is also the second part, and I'm sorry for this all the terminal stuff. This might seem so confusing, but like it's not mine. As I said, like for our Obsera, we had this terminal, but this is like just GitHub that they had. This is for Cloud, and for Cloud, you can actually give it like these are different marketing ideas that, for example, for copywriting, like someone was asking, can I give my own voice? You can actually not just your own voice. You can give it like end to end. Let's say for copywriting, you have your own knowledge. You can actually bake it into the system through this. Like you can have like headline formulas, contents, like if you see, understand how users are really experiencing your site without drawing in numbers. Like you can give it the workflows that it should pass through if you give different inputs. So for example, I am deploying 10K uh, on Facebook ads. Any advice you have? And we actually have like it won't just give generic cloud advice. You can go first and let me see. Yeah, paid ads here, skill. It has like all this knowledge written to it, where it would go and like go through this. What's the primary objective? What's the target CPO? Like it would go into all these details, and it has a well-defined way of working through it. And these knowledge files, like markdowns, you can change them yourself. You see, here it's asking me a question. What's based on the knowledge base that it had, like what's the primary goal? Let's say I don't want to take too much time here. So let's say direct sales. I will just press one for all of the stuff, one-time test. Yes, was ready. Submit answers. But those questions, it was actually based on all this knowledge base that you provided. So essentially, it would go and then do the research and then come up with a new file with for you. And I actually did it here, meta ad scaling. It gave me like before I gave it, because I thought we might be over time and we are actually. So I had some stuff ready before, but as you see, it's doing it in the real time also. So it's here like 2K on prospecting, new customer acquisition, and then lookalikes. Like this is all based on the files that we had, and this is
Hmm.
all also open source. It's not none. Like if you have a different marketing, you know the soul of it. Like everyone has different. As I said, marketing is not. It doesn't have AI agents, and it won't. Like it's so hard, even for coding. The reason why we had it so well defined, but for marketing, where you have the taste, where you have the intuition, like the current AI doesn't have the capacity to automate you. It just gives you tools, and these are the part of the tools. Like you might have completely different outlook on ads, and you can write it within the system actually. So this is the values that it brings. So it actually wrote, you can see pixel, CPM, CTA, do this, like key metrics to track, what to do over the weeks. It gave all of this. And you can even do ads like uh, prepare. I will go like for 3 4 minutes over the time limit. I'm so sorry. Just we had so prepare for me a fancy ad, uh, new video for I don't know for supplements. I drink a lot of. I was drinking like a day 11 or 12. So like I'm really into supplements and stuff. And here it will actually go. And this is also open source. This is actually jewelry ad that I just said. Then it will take 4 or 5 minutes. That's why I had all prepared in the background. And you just give it like, let me start from the scratch. This is based only on the prompts that I provided, like Eternal Brilliance. Like I didn't give it even the assets. Imagine what you could do if you had your agency like assets and stuff. It's just me saying like create an ad. That's not like a smart way. No one does it, but even with it, you could see like it has the vibes, etc. Like, and you can change it. You can have your own assets. You can play around with it, and it's also open source. It's not mine. You might have to work with terminal and stuff. Like as I say, it's not for our solution. We have really tried to have all for the chat, but I want to make clear that there are these open source solutions. You can play around with them. You can set it up yourself. Like you don't have to go to us. But I believe, as I said, like these are still all clanky. Like for OpenClaw, for randomly people who did it, some of them had their accounts banned because they didn't have the necessary guards on place. They, when you interact, and like there was actually, I'm not sure whether it was a joke or not, but someone from Meta's like intelligence team, like they gave access to OpenClaw, like to all the system, and it went forth and simply deleted the emails. And she was like, stop, and it wouldn't stop. And that sent was like, oh yeah, like I'm sorry, but like emails deleted, like it can't bring back your emails. So there is like still a place to develop. We have taken all this into account. That's why we had all the systems in safe places. We are really conscious about what we give it access to, and we are actually trying it out and leveraging it for enterprises in Azerbaijan. That's what I'm saying. Like US is actually, and now I'm in San Francisco. Like it's home of all this innovation, the US, and they believe like we can bring so much value. It's ripe for disruption, and we have experience with like the enterprises. That's why it's open for collaboration, but there are like all these open source tools also. Just to end, I don't want to take more time that I already have. So as I said, if you would like to collaborate with us, the different ways that we offer it is one is obviously you can reach out to me in the calendar. I showed it to you. Go to obsera.com, and here you can just press on request a demo and you can have a meeting with me. And then, as I said, we have this as a special offer. So we are giving all of the platform for people who book now or like within the next, who reach out to us and with whom we speak, like within the next 1 2 weeks, a special offer where we give access to all of this for $300 per month, like social listening, omni-channel, these ads, like all the infrastructure that we have. And I will send it over within the email. We'll give access to it. And third option, and there were questions regarding it. Yes, the third stuff that we can do is like speak with you, arrange these workflows for like your needs. That's the third offer. And fourth is I'm in the US, in San Francisco. I'm really passionate about establishing the community. You can see my LinkedIn. You can, and I use mostly LinkedIn to be sincere, and X also. Apparently, X is a thing here. That's why more so for the tech community. So, but more LinkedIn, you can reach out to me and we can see like, even if we don't collaborate on any of these solutions, like how can we establish a community? Because I'm passionate about it. I'm willing to invest our own funds. Just how can we bring people to? That's why I moved here. Like I moved here like after 6 years, after establishing everything in Azerbaijan, like personally, business wise, I just packed up without any plans, moved here, like in the spirit of San Francisco. So we are open to collaboration. So that would be my greatest message that if we can, please reach out. Let's keep in contact and let's see how we can like develop the community together. Because like I'm really passionate about it. Like I feel it. Thank you.
Vugar, yeah, no, I think we all feel the passion, and I want to say, Vugar was very open in saying, hey, if you want to do this, you want to do that. We have a platform. There's also open source solutions that come that are, they might be difficult to program, they might have guardrail issues, but they exist. So I think Vugar is really an open book about what is possible today, what's not possible. Obviously, I think he wants Obsera to become that central platform to make everything possible. So I do hope that, whatever interest you might have, whatever question you might have, you really reach out. Obviously, very friendly guy, but I think more importantly, very passionate about really raising the level for all of us in this new game of AI. I want to, end with just a very, very quick note here. So, what do we do next? And I already saw some comments of people that were saying, I'm a fractional CMO, but marketing technology is not my forte. So, very, very simple. You can all, after this presentation is done, do an audit. List every marketing tool that you pay for and add up the total cost. Now, Vugar mentioned the special pricing that he's offering. This is not a, solopreneur, a very, very small tool that just does one thing. This does many things, right? Which is why it is at that price point. But I think if you add up all the different tools you use, you might be surprised about how much you are already paying every month. And then more importantly, for each tool, ask what AI does it offer today? And is it better than what I can do with ChatGPT on my own? And one of the things that surprised me when Vugar reached out to me was I recently started using another social media scheduling tool that you have probably all never heard of, but it's because they had this AI functionality that even the really famous companies did not have. And I want to work with those innovators because I know that I'm going to grow faster if I team up with them. And that's exactly what I see in Obsera as well. Identify where you're still doing repetitive manual work. Those are your biggest AI agent opportunities. Even if it's just check notifications, how do we get triggered an automatic email once a day instead of having to dig in and look at the notifications every hour, for instance, and do a refresh? Research what next generation looks like. Obviously, starting with Obsera, book a demo call at Vugar. He'll go into more detail. I believe the marketers who win in 2026, look, creating content is not the issue anymore, right? It's not about posting more frequently. It's about building smarter systems that help you do more in less time. And it's really about that execution, but it's about intelligent execution and putting all these pieces together in one dashboard. So, Vugar, thank you so much for your time. I wanna just see if there's any final questions. I know that we went over, we had a number of thank yous. Thank you all for joining us. We will be following up with the recording and with the slide decks. And I know that Vugar will be following up separately as well. So thank you once again. Any, last notes, Vugar, for everybody listening?
No, thank you for your time. Like, I'm really grateful, and I hope like we can establish this community together. Thank you.
I look forward to it as well. Thank you all. We'll all be in touch. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much,
Bye.
Vugar.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye bye.